Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Timikemza James. So for our new subscribers, you're welcome. Our old subscribers, you're welcome. Let's welcome the newbies to the family. You're all welcome to this family and I love you all. So today we are going to be, today is gist time. Let me just say gist time. Not every day. So some days let's talk about the things, the questions in our hearts. So a lot of people have been asking me, like I get questions like fashion school or apprenticeship system, that's the normal tailor shop, which is better. I get people asking me that. So guys, the thing is I can't really come out to say this is better or that is better, but I feel like they have their advantages and disadvantages as well, and then they all have their uses in the community, right? So for fashion school, the first thing I want to talk about is accessibility. Most times if you're in Nigeria like I am, you know that everywhere you go to there's like a tailor shop that you can actually just meet. Even if your backyard, at your junction or anything, you can just see a tailor shop anywhere that you can go to learn how to sew, right? But a fashion school is not that accessible because most times they are located in major cities, and then they are kind of far from you where you are. Even when you're in the same city as those, it might be like very far from you, so you cannot access it. So you would have to look for course. Maybe you would need to move to that area or for the time being, or you would be paying a lot of money in transport to be going there and coming back. So that is it, because fashion is actually very fashion designing, when you're learning, is really expensive because you need to put money into getting fabrics and all that. So you really don't want to incur other expenses like transportation and feeding, thinking of moving from one place to another place just to learn for a period of time like that. So in that area, the tailor shop is more accessible. Then second one is the price. For a fashion school, it's really expensive. Fashion schools are very expensive compared to the tailor shop where you do the apprenticeship system, right? So fashion schools are expensive, but then they kind of teach you more broad things than you can get in the tailor shop. So in the tailor shop, what you get is actually just to watch what, like, maybe your boss or your teacher is doing, and you just watch and learn. And most times I discover that in that place they can't really even explain to you what they are doing. So assuming they are cutting clothes now, right, and they tell you, okay, maybe you go down on the shoulder maybe by 1 inch slant, they can't really explain to you why you need to go down by 1 inch slant, but you get that in the fashion school, right? They will tell you why, because they understand the technicalities of those things. And then secondly, fashion school will teach you courses like pattern drafting. You will learn that a lot in fashion school. That would be like most of the things you're learning in fashion school, which is, to me, in fashion designing, that part of it is very important. Pattern drafting, the importance of that cannot be overemphasized, because there are so many things you'll be limited to doing if you don't know how to do fashion pattern drafting. You'll be limited in so many ways. There are things that you just can't cut them by free hands, and on this channel, you know that I try to cut by free hands a lot, so that people who do not understand, just for the sake of people who don't understand pattern drafting, so that I don't get you confused and you've been wondering like, what are we doing here, or is it impossible to do this? It might not be impossible to do one or two without this thing, but there are certain things you really cannot do without pattern drafting. So in that area, fashion school, I highly recommend going to a fashion school over an apprenticeship system. Then time or duration, fashion school mostly are 3 months, 6 months, and maximum of a year. But in the tailor shop, is so far is minimum of a year, and you see somebody spending 3 whole years of your life in a tailor shop learning how to sew. And at the end of the day, I discovered that even the learning how to sew, you discover that there are very minimal things that they can do. They can't do so many things, and I've spent 3 years of my life like learning sewing alone. I mean, guys, that's too much. So I don't think, in fact, if I'm to advise you, right, I don't think you should go anywhere and spend 2 years learning how to sew. The most things that you will learn as a sewer or tailor or whatever you call yourself, or fashion designer, you would actually learn them on your own when on the job, because you will discover so many things that will just like wow you. Some will surprise you, some will come as a challenge, but you scale through. Do you understand? Those are the, you will learn more on your own. So I don't think you should spend all that time that you would have been able to start your business and it must have grown to a certain level trying to learn. So that time is too much. Don't spend 2 or 3 years of your life in one shop that you're learning anything like that. So when you want to register, you should try and ask, right? Try and ask them, how long does this course take, and will they teach me? Can I ask questions? This and that. Those are the things you should ask in any tailor shop you go. If you feel like you don't have the money, you can't afford fashion school, you should do that. But in as much as I advise fashion school, I know in fashion schools they take courses such as business management and all, which is important. But I also advise you to do a little bit of apprenticeship system. It helps your business actually, because you see how your tutor relates with customers one-on-one. So you see that you have access to going to the market with them and see how they beat price, they buy things, how they do, like how they basically, apprenticeship system is basically like learning the life of the person, right? I know that now maybe they bastardized it and they are doing anything they like and all, but initially it was more like learning the life and the trade of that person. So I feel like it helps the apprentice. Like I personally, I did the apprenticeship system as well. So it's kind of, is good for you to have even if it's just 2-3 months, to just learn how they relate with customers in that aspect. It will be good as well. And I also advise that you go to a fashion school too, because that's where you get like most of the things. So fashion schools are expensive, tailor shop are cheaper or more affordable. Fashion school takes like a shorter period of time, which the tailor shop takes a longer period of time. I know it does take a longer period of time, but it also has its advantages, that timing also, if you can stay a year, because most fashion schools they say 3 months, and in 3 months there's very little you can learn actually and say like I really learned it, right? So I advise like 6 to 1 year is okay. So if you get a fashion school where they will let you stay 6 months or a year, that is fine. Or except if you're willing to pay that 3 months, do your beginners class, go for your intermediate, and then most times professional classes. If you have that amount of money to like put into the work, then fine, you can go through the fashion school all through and forget about the tailor shop. But if you don't have that kind of money, I advise you start from the tailor shop for some time, you learn the basics there. So your beginners class will be at the tailor shop. Then when you get to fashion school, you just do maybe your intermediate or professional class or something like that. It will actually do you good, right? But I can't really tell you which one is the best. So you just weigh your options and just feel like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. And so I personally, I did both. So you would weigh your options before you enter into it, right? So this is it about our video, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you have any questions further, you can comment below, I'll answer you. And then see you in my next video, guys. Please subscribe and share and like. Bye.